Welcome in, everybody. Spirit's got me going. Talking about this karmic energy. We are in day 3 of the karmic series. We did the air signs, we did water signs, now we're going to do the earth signs. I hope you're all well. I hope you had a good day. This rain that's coming through has got my bacon. I don't know about you. You too, eh? What's going on? Had $10 for every time I heard that fear, I'd be rich. You know that? Go fly a kite, please, in a thunderstorm. What type of gardening are you doing, Sarah? Is it just flowers, or are you actually planting food? You should look into the 3 cysts for the green beans. Go find another chat, Rusty. I'm not in the mood for you. Welcome in, kitty cat. Yes, pumpkins are rather finicky. They need a lot of room to spread on. Yeah. Thank you for the update, Shelley. If you got a lot of squirrels and rodents and rabbits and moles and different things, you might want a greenhouse. Because they'll wreak havoc in your garden. That's wild. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. This is the third day in the Karmic series of the Karmic energy check-ins. Talking about people. Can you sense the sarcasm? Well, I'm in Cosmic Mirror. I have Taylor. Welcome in, Maureen. So the manifestation workshop, I had some downloads as to why that was postponed. Unless I have members wanting to be a part of that manifestation workshop, it actually requires some sort of interaction. And I find that when I go members side, it doesn't interact. So, yeah, we're gonna postpone, but we're gonna schedule it. If there's anybody in my members section that are like really anxious or where else to be part of that workshop, let me know in the chat. I totally feel you there, Art Taylor. I get you. I totally get you there. Yeehaw, Shelly, you got the number one. It's funny, once I put it on subscriber mode, everybody leaves. Because then roll. Membership chat level. Welcome back, Art Taylor, for 5 months. So we're going to get started soon. I'm just having some coffee. Going to tapping in. I hope y'all had a good day. I'm happy to hear that, kitty cat. You should talk to Google support, Dorothy. You should find out why. Well, that's good. It's very good. What part of the advice? There was quite a bit. The appreciation, or focusing on what you need to do to make an exit? Oh, so you got an electric shock from your wheelchair? Is that what happened, Dorothy? Or did you actually? I don't know if I read that correctly. Don't bother planning for the worst. Planning for the worst, you're sticking into that old frequency. You're gonna have to dream a little bit and dream big. It's the only way you're gonna get through it. That's awesome. I was glad to inspire your son to step into something. I still think he should go and look into the auto body if there's any shops nearby. Because that's going to bring extra money in for both of you, and I think it's going to be better. Welcome in, Pop. At least give him a chance, you know what I mean? Like, give him a chance, but he's going to have to focus. He's going to have to focus. He can't be sitting distracted, right? That's the only downfall to that, because I feel that he's having a hard time staying focused. It can be sometimes difficult, but it's about letting go of all the distractions, even just for 5 minutes, maybe half hour, an hour, whatever. Right? Alright, so we're going to start off with the Karmic Chicken deck. Now, disclaimer, if today's reading triggers you, let it be something to reflect on. Let it be something that you reflect on and question whether or not it's valid for you. It vibes with you, it vibes with you. It's something to reflect on, learn from, and step up and rise above it. Okay? If you are a Virgo or Sagittarius, and you are in your divine energy, I'm probably not going to talk about you. Okay? Take it into consideration. I'm talking about the karmics. Alright? If you're in your divine energy, you're tapped in. You don't need to know about yourself because you're tapped in. What we need to know about is these dumbass karmics that keep playing in our energy. So if you are a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and you're offended by this reading, maybe something that you need to reflect on. Okay? You can transmute it. You can learn from it. You can grow from it. If you're triggered from it. Welcome in, Max. Patricia. No fun when the rabbit's got the gun. You silly rabbit. I can't say that impressed with the news. Things are heating up, that's for sure. I'm still disgusted. I get more disgusted by the day. People with their finger on the trigger need to sit the fuck down and smoke a joint. Karmic grapefruit, bitter as fuck. Somebody's bitter. Somebody's not liking what's going on with you, collective. Somebody's not liking that you're winning. Despite the chaos. Hey, Pop. If you go into the link section here on my YouTube channel, there's a Hipsy link. You can look at it in the description box as well. And usually every second Monday, or Monday once a month, there's a Hipsy event where you can get a 15% discount on a reading. Otherwise, it's full price. If you become a member, there are periodic times where I go members side and I do readings. It's been a while because I've just basically been taking some downtime. But readings range from my coaching sessions at $1 a minute. And they're intuitive coaching sessions, so it's kind of like counseling, but in an intuitive way. I do my readings all by video through Hipsy. Those are the only options. If you become a member here on YouTube, then if you have access to my DMs as far as Facebook or Instagram, you can go ahead and reach out to me through Facebook or Instagram for that reading. Okay? Otherwise, you can wait for a members live to where I do those readings. Or once in a blue moon, there's times where at the end of the collective readings, I might throw some cards for some people. Usually my supporters that donate super chat, super stickers, and my members, they get first dibs. And usually I get tired out before I get to my subscribers, so a lot of my members just simply donate at different levels because they get a lot out of the collective readings. Hitting the like button very well could tap you in. So there's lots of different ways of getting a reading. But they range from $5 up to $60, depending on the reading. So feel free to check out the description box for more information. Or the link section, either one. The Hipsy link is there. And I am open for readings. So if you'd like a reading, you can go ahead and order one, and I will get back to you with 12 to 24 hours. Alright, everybody, let's get started. Closed-minded muggle. So we've got closed-minded muggles misunderstanding you on purpose, quite possibly. Stop saying sorry for being you. You are important, collective. Don't allow the gaslight you. You've got to step into your power. Welcome in, Melinda. Yeah, Kitty Cat just got one the other day. It kind of blew her mind. We were laughing, we were crying. It's a big old party. Alright. Great Spirit, guides, guards, protectors, ancestors, divine light, please be here to provide a collective read for my earth signs, my divine earth signs. But please understand, we're talking about the karmics. Please let us know what we need to know to stay 10 steps ahead of our haters and our karmics. Please let any ill will sent towards me or my collective be automatically sent back to sender and bound to them indefinitely until they learn perfect love and perfect trust within their heart. I do appreciate the guidance, the guarding, and the protect while I do these collective readings, Spirit. Alright, what do we got going on for the reading tonight? Codependent and needy. S'mores galore, the ultimate bridge burner. So it could very well be having a codependent earth karmic sign. You're breaking away from this codependent, needy individual. You're burning some bridges. Maybe they burned a bridge with you. Maybe they went too far with their stubbornness. Maybe they went too far with their bullshit and you cut them off. Maybe they're closed. Maybe they're not willing to open up their mind to possibilities. And you got tired of their muggle ass. Who knows? Karmic masculine, karmic feminine. It's looking like somebody is kind of regretting that they were really sloppy with you. Maybe their attitude towards you, maybe their energy at all. I think they're regretting it. You might have burned a bridge with them, or they might have burned a bridge with you. But you cut this codependent energy out because they were closed-minded. Very karmic individual. I think you might have spoke some truth to them. Timmy the Truther keeps popping out here. Stop for just a moment, be in the stillness, close your eyes, and breathe. Go art space, collective. It might be time to take a spiritual bath. That's when I go back to my heart space. I take some time out to lay my head in the water and listen to my heartbeat. It's a good way to do it. Passed on karmic thought by ending it would remove accountability. Now they're in purgatory. Interesting. What else do we need to know, Spirit? What's going on? They're definitely not a divine VIP. They're not guided, guarded, or protected. Drunk as a scum, masking their feelings with alcohol. Typical. Flipping tables, stomping fables. So they're probably lying on you, collective. Toxic traits due to a toxic family. They're taking their good old time with their healing, sitting on the dock, letting it float to the top. It could be interacting or could be dealing with a Sagittarius as well. Silver spooner. Ungrateful bastard. Not necessarily the Sag, but there's definitely somebody in the mix here. Silver spooners, they get everything they don't for and they're still not happy. Always complaining. Melinda, that's the usual. That's typical. Melinda says, sounds like someone is being exposed. Yeah, that's usually what happens in my readings. Throwing rocks and hiding their hands. Oh, maybe they've shut their mouth. Peanut gallery, gossip, queen, and king in reverse. Maybe they're no longer a part of the peanut gallery. The more you feel, the more you heal. Take time to transmute the pain that is inside you. It is paramount to your healing, collective. Stop blocking out your feelings. Stop blocking out this idea that you're going to look at what's going on and what's holding you back, because it's actually holding you back. All right? Welcome in, Brandy. I find it very odd. It looks like you are a member, but it doesn't have a star beside your name. That's weird. It's very odd. Ryan, welcome in, buddy. Oh, there it is. That was weird. Your hi, hey, how are you doing didn't have a star beside it. But it was... I found that very odd. Seems like everything's glitching out, but it is what it is. Do I need to turn that up? I think it'll be okay the way it is. I think I am gonna sit up though. Oh. Oh. There we go. All right, so you're cutting out this codependent, needy individual. You burned some bridges. Hopefully you used some marshmallows and chocolate and graham crackers and made some s'mores with the fire. There's no point of having a fire if you're not going to enjoy it. Somebody may be silenced from the peanut gallery. Maybe they're not part of the peanut gallery anymore. They're very karmic. It's evident. You're flipping tables, stomping fables. So you might have put them in their place, considering. What's going on? Well, Ryan, you have to understand Coco's had a long life. And you know what? You made it enjoyable being a part of your family. So I would just be grateful for the time that you had with him. There's definitely a Capricorn in the mix here tonight, with the devil on the bottom of the deck. There very well could be a Capricorn stalking or looking or lurking. The lurking didn't come out. The sweet and sour pickle. There very well could be a thing that they're feeling like they don't really have any idea what to say to you at this point. Anyway. What's this about the Sagittarius? Why did the Sagittarius card come out? Ooh, the star on its side. Okay. What else? Two of Pentacles. Nine of Cups. So there could be something about divine timing with this. But I'm kind of getting, like, I don't think it's a Sagittarius. I think it's more tense. Okay? If it is the fact that maybe you're a Sagittarius and you're dealing with an earth sign karmic, that could very well be it. But you're moving forward with compassion. You're opening up your heart again. You're looking to heal. You're looking to balance things out with the Two of Pentacles. You're finding a foundation. You could be looking into a new partnership, particularly with a Sagittarius. Could be. The Three of Wands here. Having patience. Being consistent. Working together, collaborating with a new idea, quite possibly, maybe with a Sag. Maybe you left this karmic for a Sag. Who knows? Flip it where it needs to go. What else about the Sagittarius or Temperance or what's the deal with this? The mission. So you could very well be a Sag and you're in the process of manifesting. We got the Magician here in the upright. So you could be tapping into your manifestation abilities, moving through with compassion. Very well could be working on your healing. You're kind of on the fence on what to do next. But balancing out and bringing yourself into some sort of collaboration or new partnership, whether that be business or building a new foundation with your higher self and your 3D self. It could very well be. Either way, you're coming into a new balance. You could be calling on Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael could be kicking it with you right now? The Devil is on the bottom of the deck. Seven of Pentacles in reverse. I get a feeling something's not working out as planned, and I think this is something about divine timing. You have to... That's a confirmation right there. You have to let it happen as it happens. You could very well maybe be rushing things. You might have jumped out of collusion. You might have, when you were flipping tables and stomping fables, it very well could be that you might have jumped the gun, maybe. But overall, with the different, like, there's a lot of toxic traits. There's a lot of energy. It's kind of like sitting on the fence to heal. One minute they're closed-minded, the next minute they're okay, the next minute you're burning a bridge, the next minute, you know, they're throwing rocks and hiding their hands, next minute, you know, like they're getting drunk, you know, they're being stupid, they're masking their feelings. One minute they want to speak about it, the next minute they don't. Like very wishy-washy energy. So I think this is quite possibly why they were so closed-minded, but this is why you decided, okay, we're done with this situation. Considering the s'mores galore. Confirmation. Alright. Let's get into a vibe check. What's the vibe in tonight's collective? What's the vibe? What is the vibe, Spirit, for this tonight's reading? Somebody's salty that you're not shattered. They're feeling lost. They're feeling depressed. They're feeling hopeless. It's either that or they wanted you to feel that way. And they're salty the fact that you don't. They're not in good vibes. They're not looking to the now. They're not looking for the moment. They're not looking for today. They're sitting there in the past. And they're kind of pissed off at the fact that you didn't take the bait, is what I'm getting off that one. Yeah, they weren't nurturing you and you cut them out. Collective, I think you got to the point where you're done with energy, and you're sooner to choose yourself than choose other people. You're more apt to choose your own peace, your peace of mind, rather than deal with these dumbass karmics. And I think this is why you cut these people out. Okay? So you did it for good reason. So if you're sitting kind of questioning yourself as to whether or not you did the right thing, I'll tell you right now, your peace of mind is everything. Okay? And if they had you on eggshells, if they had you in anxiety or panic or whatever, then chances are you did the right thing. You have to question it. They were definitely not nurturing you. They weren't in nurturing energy. Usually earth signs are very grounded individuals. They're very stable. They're very, their attitude is usually very chill, you know, very cool, very calm, very collected. Yes, they have their stubborn side. Yes, they have their darker side. But if you're not poking the bear, you're really having to worry about that. Okay? So take that into consideration when you're looking into it. All right? Emotions, worry, and fear is what they want you in. Maybe they're in this energy. Oh, okay. They're in their emotions and worry and fear about your glow up. They don't want you to have these new opportunities. They're envious. They don't want you having a new career. They don't want you having a success business. They want it just sitting there dormant. Okay? But you're not stagnant. You're kind of in the process of kind of taking off. You're very inspired. That's the one thing I'm getting. And these dumbass cards are realizing now that they're not guided, guarded, or protected like they thought they were. I think because of what they've done background, throwing rocks and hiding their hands, because of this, they lost their abilities, they lost their protection because of their overall intention. Yeah, they didn't want you cutting ties. That's the whole thing. And they're losing their shit because you did. Okay? They're losing their shit because you cut ties with them. There is no possibilities. They don't want you following your dreams, making up your mind. They don't want you believing in yourself. Okay? So I'm really kind of getting that they're kind of envious about this glow up that you're having, because you're having your glow up anyway. And it's like they're watching you nurture other people, but you're not nurturing them, and it's mainly because of their bitter attitude that you didn't bother nurturing them anymore. Probably why you walked away. This is a very arrogant, rash, insincere particular person. They're not one to apologize. And they're in their feelings, silent treatment. They're feeling left out. And they no longer have their head in the clouds. It's either that or it's you. One of the two. You could be looking for an apology, but you're not getting one. Because these karmics don't think they did anything wrong, right? You're coming out of isolation as well. You're no longer feeling rejected. You're not feeling left alone. You're not self-inflicted. I think they've been put in place about the gossip they were trying to spread. The rumors, gossip, nosy, sipping. It's on its side. And they're not self-reflecting either. They're avoiding it at all costs, is what Spirit's saying to me. They don't want to reflect. Because they would have to sit with guilt and shame there for, what, 5-10 minutes? And transmute that shit, lesson? But no, they'd rather sit there bitter, angry, salty, petty. Delay, procrastination, too busy. Yeah, you took yourself out of, you're not delaying anymore. It's almost like they were holding you back. They were slowing you down. They were taking the wind out of your sails. And this is why you walked away, because you're done with the chaos. You're done with the bitter attitude. You're done with the karmic energy. Upheaval, disaster, downfall. They tried to bring you down to a lower frequency so that way you weren't divinely protected. But I think this was a test for you, collective, because the collective that I'm talking to, you're tapped in, right? You're going towards something beautiful, and you, you got away from this. Now you're relaxed. Now you're having fun. It's kind of like a vacation sort of thing. Prolonged vacay. Is there anything else for the vibe check tonight, Spirit? You could have been dealing with a psychopath. Abusive, conniving, unpredictable. Okay? Very two-faced individual. Saying one thing and then showing you a totally different thing. It's like... And the fact that you figured them out, but you didn't allow them any knowledge that you figured them out. You just packed your shit and left. One particular timeline, like, you even had to wait till they were sleeping and pack your shit and leave. Because you just didn't want to deal with their karmic bullshit. Right? And I'm really kind of on a Taurus energy. Okay? And this Taurus is literally beside themselves because you're no longer close to them. You're no longer in their area. You're no longer in their energy. They've been stalking you. They've been wondering where you've been. They've been trying to find out where you lived. And then they find out you moved again. So they're wondering where you are. Throwing rocks and hiding their hands. What's this all about? Yeah. Throwing rocks and hiding their hands because you're stepping in your power. You're stepping into your Emperor energy. You're rising up the bullshit. This is why they're throwing around hiding their hands. Eight of Pentacles in reverse. They're trying to ruin everything you have going for you. Probably just skunk, masking their feelings with alcohol. Fucking alcoholics. Thinking that they're getting somewhere, but they're really not. There's literally no hope for these people. Literally no hope. Why? Because they don't want any hope for you. Pretty fucking sad, to be honest. They thought they were getting one over, but they really weren't. It's kind of embarrassing, to be honest. Yeah, this was definitely a karmic twin flame. You put an end to it real quick. All because they were lying. There was a lot of deception. Anything and everything that you were trying to build, they were trying to rip it apart. King of Swords in the reverse. Need I say more? Two of Swords. You literally had to make a decision without all the information. You had to use your discernment. And because you made certain decisions, this brought a major tower. And Seven of Wands, you stood on business. You stood up for yourself. All for throwing rocks and hiding their hands. thinking that they were going to get away with it, but they didn't. They didn't get away with it at all. They made themselves look like a dumbass. Some think they're actually regretting what they've done. Because had they not done what they did, they'd probably still be in their energy. And like some of these karmics, they've been sitting and pining for years about the whole situation. It's not even like you just let them go recently. It's like these are people from like your past that are still sitting there years, like at least 10 years, if not more or less, sitting there still pining about the past. How they're not allowed in your energy. They're obsessed. Like this energy feels like an in and out, in and out, in and out kind of energy. Wham, thank you, ma'am, and off and gone again. And then they come back in again. Then they leave again. Then they come back in again. They're very closed off. They're very codependent. And you drop this whole energy out. It was holding your frequency at a lower frequency, right? So by dropping this out and getting rid of it, you made room for this new frequency to come in. And I think it's been a lot better for you, collective. Welcome, AOP. The Nine of Pentacles in reverse and the Four of Swords in reverse. Yeah, they're losing their shit because they can't tap into your energy anymore. Close proximity. Like you might have been in close proximity with these people, but you didn't associate with them. And now you've moved out of the area. You're no longer in that area. So because of that, you're out of the fray of it all, so to speak. This was definitely a karmic in it, for sure. I get a feeling like they were trying to show up as like a divine masculine, but they weren't. Divine feminine, but they weren't. They had a good mask, but the mask be slipping, okay? Seven of Cups, you're focused on yourself. That's the whole thing. You're focused on yourself. You're not focused on anybody else. And I'm also getting a thing like, if I can't have you, nobody will. So they could have very well, after you guys disconnected, they could have very well been trying to create chaos in your life for quite some time afterwards. To try to pay you back, and that's the truth apparently. Ace of Swords. They've been colluding behind the scenes, trying to connect with certain people to bring about some sort of demise to you because you left them. The audacity to leave me. It's like giving me a feeling like they thought they owned you. The audacity of these people. Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Everything that they came about to bring about destruction to you, it all fell apart. Everything they worked for is falling apart. They're literally in shambles right now. Ten of Pentacles. I think that's why they're so obsessed with you, because you're going towards this. They see that. They see that you're headed towards some sort of stability. And this is why they're trying to ruin it. Throwing rocks, hiding their hands. Six of Wands, you're exposing it. That's why. You expose them and they're bullshit. And they don't like it. Because you're spitting truth, and they're not happy with that. They're not happy with the fact that you're letting everybody know what's going on with them. You're standing in your power, that's for sure. The world, their whole world is upside down. And it's all about divine timing. Archangel Michael very well could have putting the heat on them, thinking that they were getting away with it, but they really didn't. They really did not get away with it. Welcome in, Georgina. Queen of Swords. There very well could have been some sort of dealings with the Queen of Swords, an air sign. It could be a masculine or a feminine. Or both. What's the scoop? Two of Cups in reverse. If I can't have you, no one's going to have you. The audacity. Yeah, they feel betrayed because you flip tables into fables. So everything that they were lying on you about, you put it to rest. And now, because you did that, they feel betrayed. But they wanted you to be, they wanted you to feel betrayed for flipping the tables on them. You can't always get what you want. Ten of Cups. You're headed towards something beautiful and they can't stop this, collective. So keep moving forward. Keep feeling through it and heal through it and transmute that shit. Okay? Pain to power. And Spirit's saying time is of the essence. Because just as you're trying to heal, they're trying to create more chaos. So the higher you go within your frequency, the less control they have over you. The less connection, the less ability they have to connect to you. Okay? So step into your power already. Because enough is enough. They're walking around drunk as a skunk, thinking that they're solving problems by drinking themselves to a stupor. And here you are, turning your pain to power. And they wonder, how are they succeeding? It's really not that hard to figure out. Queen of Pentacles. Could be an earth sign, very stingy, very selfish individual. Could be a female, could be a male. But they're definitely not nurturing their stability. They're not nurturing anything. They're being very selfish. Trying to tap into your energy. I'm kind of picking up on a Capricorn. But I'm kind of picking up on a cusp. We've got the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords out here. So it could be a Capricorn Aquarius cusp. Nine of Wands, they feel absolutely defeated. Because they can't tap into your energy. They're feeling defeated and depleted. sitting on the dock, letting it float to the top, and I'm looking at that when the King of Cups comes out, right side up. So you very well could be guarding your heart right now. You could be standing with compassion for yourself, and your community, the people around you. You might be letting your guard down at this point. Just kind of chilling out, relaxing, releasing the pressure. Because every seed that they're planting is a dead seed. Okay? Yeah. They don't want to heal. Probably toxic, due to the toxic traits, due to a toxic family. They don't want to look at themselves. They're envious at the fact that you're standing on business and you're standing on a new foundation. You're moving forward anyway. Very methodical. Very grounded. Very stable. Five of Wands. Some of them come in and reconcile. Some of them don't want to fight with you anymore. Meanwhile, they're the ones that brought the fight anyway, and they wonder why you want nothing to do with them. Because they're nothing but a stingy bastard or bitch. Very selfish individuals. They don't think about anybody but themselves. King of Wands. They're losing their mind because you're winning. They're absolutely losing their mind because everything that they come up against you with isn't working. If there was spell work, that's coming to mind too as well. All their spells backfiring. It's not working. They're sitting like a dumbass. Sitting like a dumbass at the dump. Two of Swords, again, popping out here. 10 of Swords in the reverse. So, they're not going to come in and tell you any truth. Okay, they want to come in and reconcile with you, but they're not telling you any truth. No truth. They just want to open up old wounds. Again, this dumbass energy coming in thinking that they're going to throw wool over our eyes. Make it make sense, Spirit, please. Put them in their freaking place, please, as well. This is dumb. It's kind of the same energy as last night. It's like infiltrating. They're trying to infiltrate what's not theirs. They're trying to gain access to what's not theirs. What they don't have access to. Again, access denied. Chances are, yeah, they probably are, Sheila. Considering they're a bunch of hoe bags. Karmics are usually a hoe bag. Because they can't seem to fill the void by themselves, so they try to fill it with other people. And it doesn't work, it just creates a whole bunch of chaos. So, not only the STDs, sexually transmitted diseases, but when you're with a whole bunch of people, and you're very promiscuous, and you're going out and you're cheating on people, like that, you're not only having to deal with sexually transmitted diseases and STIs and whatever else, but having to deal with sexually transmitted entities as well, or demons for that matter. So this is why it's very, very important for you to hold on to your energy and be very careful as to who you share your energy with. You have every right to collective. And I think that's why they're so picky and they want you back, because you're like the top-notch type of frequency that they need to tap into in order to survive. And they can't come at you with anything but lies, which is kind of pathetic, really. What's going on? I'll take it. What's going on? That song, what do you want from me? What do you want from me? They're feeling defeated. They can't walk away from this. I think they're receiving karma. They're satisfied with the fact that you're not in their energy anymore. And they're very overwhelmed, or they want you to be very overwhelmed. But you had an awakening, collective. You know what you want in your life, and it's definitely not them. This is why you cut them off. This is why you burned that bridge. You cut out this codependent, needy energy. And they don't seem to figure it out. They don't seem to get it. Not even going to bother with the toxic traits due to a toxic family. I'm done dealing with that energy. Sit on the dock and let it float to the top. Tell me more about that one, Spirit. What about that? Three of Wands. But it's on its side. The fact that they don't want to reflect, the fact that they don't want to use patience and want to stay consistent, the fact that they don't want to move forward, they're just sitting there existing. They don't collaborate with anybody. I'm really kind of getting this hopeless energy. Like they do it, if they do, damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of situation with this energy. So they're just sitting there. Waiting on the world to change. So they're sitting there in their karmic energy, waiting for the world to change, but they're not willing to change their own world. They're not willing to change the world within themselves. They're just expecting the outside world to alchemize and change for them. Like, I'm really picking up some sort of a god complex with these particular individuals. But they're like borderline delusional. Like they don't got no leg to stand on. They're not even tapped in. That's what boggles my mind. Like they're just there existing, expecting their life to change, and it's not doing anything. Not doing anything regarding it. It's weird. And I'm not even picking up Virgo energy tonight. It's weird. I'm picking up more like Taurus, very, very predominant Taurus and Capricorn. extreme toxic energy. Okay, and not every Taurian is a toxic energy. Not every Capricorn is a toxic energy. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying, the energy that I'm picking up on is the toxic Caps and Taurus. Virgos, kind of feeling like they're just sitting in their own lane and they're minding their own business and they're doing their thing. They're focused on what they need to focus on to bring stability to their life. Okay, even the karmic ones, they're very particular. They like things just in their certain way. They like things in a certain moment, or that case may be. And they're not really into bugging people. They're not really into being stupid. It's very rare to see a karmic Virgo. They would sooner just stay by themselves than be in this karmic energy. They like their peace. They like they like their solitude. They would sooner stay by themselves than be around a bunch of fucking idiots. But Taurians, they're very stubborn, they're very selfish, specifically the karmics. Okay? The divine ones, you're very set in your ways. Yes, you're very stubborn, but you're stubborn because you know exactly what works for you. And you kind of move with it. Okay? So, in that aspect, when you're in your divine energy, you accept for the things the way they are, but when it's dealing with your own life, you're very particular. Because you need your grounding, you need your grounded energy, like you need something stable to stand on. The karmics, on the other hand, their whole world turns upside down. It's almost like they thrive off of the chaos. It's like watching a bull in a china shop. Now, Capricorns, on the other hand, when you're dealing with Capricorns, like they're very, very dark. As far as the karmics, they're extremely dark. Like they're sadistic. If they're in their karmic energy, they're very sadistic. Virgos, Caps, Scorpios are three of the most psychotic signs. And just when they're in their karmic energy, borderline, if not sociopathic, they're very sociopathic, psychopathic. They don't, and I'm talking karmics, okay? I have to keep emphasizing that because people are getting triggered. They're like, oh no, I'm not. Oh no, I'm not. You can be. You don't know what you're talking about, Aiden. Yeah, okay. I haven't lived a day in my life. 42 years. I haven't lived a day. I don't know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. Explain 11,000 subscribers. Give me 11,000 reasons and I'll think about it. And the thing is, with this karmic masculine, karmic feminine card, I'm getting like they showed their mask. They showed who they were. They show up all happy-go-lucky. Everything is great. Everything is, they're very supportive. Everything else is good. And then as soon as you have an opposed mindset, or as soon as you have an opposed idea or whatever else, something that doesn't jive with them, they're like their mask flies off and you see this other ugly side of them. Right? And this is the whole thing that kind of woke you up. And because of their attitude and because they're so close-minded and set in their ways and very stubborn, right? They have to have everything about them. It's all about them. The whole world revolves around them. That's their biggest fucking problem with people. Because they can't make people into doing what they want. Because half the shit that they want to do is have cock to begin with. Like, it's not with the norm to start with. Specifically the dicks, because they're so unstable, so chaotic. And this is their whole attitude is what got them to lose their protection. And the fact that drunk as a skunk and they're masking with alcohol, they're not alchemizing it. They're not helping themselves. They're drinking them to a stupor. And then they wonder why their life is full of shambles, chaos. And some of them are actually thinking that they can blame it on the alcohol. Well, stop drinking then. It's not that difficult. Just stop drinking. You know? Like... But when you're stepping into your divine energy collective, it's because you're healing. It's because you're alchemizing. It's because you're raising your frequency. You'll know that by how the pressure releases off of your shoulders. Right? And if you're not aware of what you need to heal, and you're not looking within yourself, and you're drinking yourself to a stupor, it's not helping you. It's not helping you at all. It's taking away your stability. It's taking away your finances. Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, when they're in their divine energy, they're some of the hardest workers that I've ever met in my life. Okay? Because they have the ability of the elements at their fingertips, but they choose to abuse it, which breaks their divine connection, because they take it to a dark place. But if they actually stepped into their healing and they stepped into their open-mindedness instead of being a closed-minded muggle, and they actually stepped into their divine energy, the ability for them to be unstoppable is paramount. But once you go into this karmic, it's very difficult to get out of it. It takes at least a couple dark nights of the soul and a couple awakenings, and, you know, you have some fits to get through before you can get back on top again. Is there a possibility for them? It depends on what they've done. It's depending on guilt they've had to hold on to. But a lot of them, they don't want to take accountability for their actions. They'd rather stay in this chaos and instability. And that's what hurts them the most. Right? They don't want to feel their feelings. They don't want to heal. They don't want to take the time out to transmute the pain inside them. They'd rather drink it away. And it's insane. It's insanity. Doing the same shit over and over and over again, expecting different results. Like, to sit there and drink a box of wine because you're sad isn't the way to go about it. You should drop the alcohol altogether, and the only time you ever drink is when you're celebrating something. Because when you're celebrating something, then you're bringing it to a higher frequency. Right? You have to be in a higher frequency in order to enjoy that, in order to be happy, in order to be in that energy. But when you're in a sad energy or in a mad energy or guilt energy or whatever and you're drinking, it just lowers your frequency even more. And this is where alcoholism rears its ugly head. And this is how alcoholics become alcoholics. Because they choose to drink it away than heal it. And it's a shame. It's a real shame. I've known quite a few Taurians to step into karmic energy because of the chaos. They like the excitement, but as long as the excitement has nothing to do with them. As soon as they're the middle of the story, as soon as they're trying to be a main character, and then they get all this chaos at them, and the fingers are being pointed at them, they don't like it anymore. But as long as the finger's being pointed at you or somebody else, that's a different story. It's entertainment for them. So, welcome in, Whispers. I was just thinking about you. You definitely come to mind. The more you feel, the more you heal. Time to transmute the pain inside you. Tell me more, Spirit. Yeah, the Hermit in reverse. Somebody's going through a major awakening. It could be a Virgo. They might have had a bit of a dark night of the soul. 7 of Wands, because you stood on business. Maybe they're watching. Hi, Virgos. Maybe they're actually heeding your wisdom. Maybe they're listening to you. Maybe they're going within. They're actually taking stock about what you're saying. I think this could be a Virgo in the mix, feeling empowered. Try that out. There's a lot of childhood wounds here as well, is what I'm feeling. The High Priestess. Some of you could very well be readers. One in particular Virgo that I'm thinking about is a reader. At least she used to be. Such a beautiful soul. Gone through hell. 10 of Cups. Looking at wish fulfillment. That's pretty substantial. Sweet dreams, Georgina. What's going on? The Knight of Pentacles. They don't know really how to step forward yet. The thing is that when you don't know how to step forward, when you don't know what direction to go in, you're not supposed to go in any direction. You're just supposed to sit. And this is the whole point of feeling through it. Because as you feel through it, the knowledge will come to you. As you assess your situation and as you assess your actions, your attitude, your intention, and all that, it starts to make sense after a while. But you have to go in with your warrior boots. You have to go in with your spectacle. You know, you have to go in with your magnifying glass. You have to go in like you're studying. You're not going in as if you're like, you know, getting down on yourself and you're feeling like hopeless and all that. You're doing it wrong if that's the way you're going about it. It's one thing to feel sad. It's one thing to feel like you don't know where to go or how to get there. But, you know, the divine puts you in these positions to give you no other choice but to have to sit with it. And if you don't want to deal with it then, back in the past, it keeps rearing its ugly head until you deal with it head on. Okay? And it will keep you in this rut in order to get you to pay attention. That's why they do it. That's why the divine does it that way. You're not going to level up without the test. You're not going to level up without the lesson. If you're not willing to learn the lesson, you're not getting the blessing. That's just the way it goes. If you're not willing to sacrifice energy to put yourself through that healing and feel through it and heal through it, transmuting the pain to power, you're not getting anywhere. You're just going to sit there and spin. Continue to spin and spin and spin and spin and spin. So, courage within yourself to step into that healing, because it's paramount to your survival and your inspiration and your movement forward. If you choose to just sit in the pain and be in this victim mentality, then it's not going to work out for you. But for the particular aspect of these cards here, you're standing in your power, you're sticking up for yourself, watching, you're studying, you are, you're learning something, you're tapping in, you're standing on business, you're going through this awakening, you're moving towards your 10 of Cups, right? And although you might not really know where or how you're going to get there, all you need to do is take the first step. Okay? The lesson and the blessing and the ability to allow the divine to work in your life, it happens in the happening. Okay? If you're going to sit at home and do nothing and, you're just going to stay to yourself, you can't expect them to come and knock on your door. You got to get out, you got to go, you got to do, you got to, you got to shake up your reality, you got to do something different in order to make something happen for you. Some of them might be feeling a little bit defeated because of it, because they don't know what direction to go in. Maybe you're not supposed to go in any direction. Maybe you're just supposed to sit. Maybe you're just supposed to cry it out. But I don't like crying, Aiden. Yeah? Okay. Then fine. Just sit there. Sit there in the pain. Like, you're sitting there in the sadness anyway. You might as well cry it out and release it. The thing with the divine is, every tear is counted. Every tear is counted. And after every cry that you have, you'll know that you find that there's a bit of a release. And it's because you're releasing the pain. So maybe all you need is a good cry to get moving again. Crying is literally the easiest and best way to release a lot of the pain and the suffering that you've gone through. And it's the least evasive. There's no such thing as too many tears, Ryan. You're going to cry as many tears as you're going to need to. Divine needs you to realize and step into your power. Sometimes you got to get mad, get glad. Somebody could be taking a new step in a new direction, being very strategic to what you're doing, how you're getting there, what what you're focusing on. It's a good way to go about it. You could be empowering yourself in your wanting to move forward, but just don't know what direction yet. That's okay. Let it go. Okay? Just let it go. Surrender to the divine and talk to the divine and say, look, I don't know what you're trying to teach me. Can you make it evident? Make it to the point where I don't have to question it anymore. Make it to the point where there's no other way to look at it. Make it very evident. Make it very plain Jane. Make it to where I don't have to question what I'm going through. Make it make sense, Spirit. And be open-minded to the possibilities. The divine will bring you lessons and bring you downloads. Tap into it. We got the High Priestess out here earlier. You very well could be tapping into this energy, and you just don't know how to read it. There's a lot of symbolism out there. And Spirit's not going to give you anything that you won't understand. So if you're constantly questioning yourself, wondering whether or not that's the message, are you even listening to the message? If you're questioning the message? Right? Are you just hearing it, or are you listening? Are you tuning it out? These are all questions you can ask yourself. And a lot of the times, the divine will put you in a rut on purpose, so that way you continuously see, and then you get fed up with yourself. And then you have no other choice. You get to the precipice of no other choice but to change it. Right? The Knight of Crystals. Determination. Endurance. Moving forward slowly, methodically, solid, on solid ground. Moving forward with intention. All the elements at your disposal. This is why earth signs are so grounded when they're in their general energy. They're one of the most powerful energies because they are in a frequency of 3D reality, solid, tangible reality. And on top of that, they have all the elements available to them. Considering a pentagram, a pentacle. Pentacle represents all 5 elements of creation: earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. If they actually stepped into their full potential, they'd literally be a freight train. They choose to sleep on themselves. They choose to dim themselves down. They choose to be in the sadness. For what? It's the big question, right? All right, Spirit. What do we got for my divine? What do we need to know about my divine earth signs? Snapping out. If they see you manifesting prosperity, they see you nurturing your truth, somebody's snapping out because of it. Somebody doesn't like the fact that they don't have control. They've lost control of themselves. And all they want to do is reconcile with you and go back to normal, back to the way that it was. And because they can't, feeling defeated. They've lost their power. They've lost their persistence. I'm really getting the fact that they tried to end you, but you're too powerful. They didn't want you walking from them. But you did it anyway. And when you walked away, you stepped into this Empress energy, and they're livid because of it. You're very abundant. They didn't want you walking away because they knew as soon as you walked away, you'd be able to step into this energy because they were siphoning off of you. The Star. You're moving towards peace, collective. You're stepping into this Empress energy. You're no longer feeling defeated. And you're nurturing your truth. You're manifesting your best life. And everything that you're stepping into and working on, you're very dedicated. You've done a lot of work on this. And you're not walking away anymore. You're dealing with it head on. And this is bringing this Empress energy in. And somebody's snapping because of it. They didn't want you in this energy. They wanted making decisions and not really having the answers. They didn't want you having all the information to do this. They were trying to hold you back by that. But you're still shining your light. You're shining bright, collective. Six of crystals. Things are balancing out for you. It's almost kind of giving me a feeling like, okay, so we got the Five of crystals in reverse. You're finding self-value. You're finding your new foundation. New possibilities. You're very progressive now. And these karmics are here for it. They're trying to siphon off of you. And it seems as though they don't have their independence, right? So they're having to tap into you in order to get some sort of energetic frequency from you. Or they're dependent on you somehow. But they don't want you to be independent. It's like a very codependent energy that I'm picking up on. Like, they're obsessed at the fact that you're rising and they're falling. Your rise will be their demise. It's like, when you're up, they're down. When they're up, you're down. And it's because of the energy siphoning. The Eight of Feathers and the Acorns. Yeah. You're finding courage where they wanted you trapped. The Hangman. You've had an awakening. You see things from a new perspective now. And they can't even get their head around it. Nice. Crystals, again. Very methodical. Very much endurance. Very determined. Slow and steady wins the race. It's not a marathon. Not even a race. But it's like I'm feeling like they're running out of... They ran out of time. Right? The Four of Crystals. Because you're holding it close to your chest. You're not speaking on a lot of things that you're going through, or where you are, whatever. You're not giving any information out. In particular, you can't sabotage it. Page of Shells and the Magician. So they want to come in and they want to be a stinky ass little cup just to manipulate you. And the Divine says, no go, Joe. Not happening. And now they're fighting. It's like they're fighting behind the scenes with the people that they tried to get in the idea to come up against you and to ruin you. Now they're fighting them because they're finding out the truth. These people that they tried to collude with are finding out the truth. That these karmics are nothing but a bunch of liars. They're not willing to work on themselves. They're very stingy, very selfish. Trying to manipulate you. Throwing magic and warfare, spiritual warfare at you. It's not working out anymore for them. Their whole world's falling apart because you're stable. You're rising, collective, and they're moving to their demise. And it's because they've been siphoning off of you. They've got no fucking leg to stand on. They got nothing. You're holding your cards close to your chest. You have every right to do that. It's none of their business what you do with your life. And you're finding rest and sanctuary at this point. You're finding peace of mind again. Because they're no longer allowed in your energy. Archangel Michael's got you locked up in an orb of protection right now. And all they're doing is overthinking. But you got but joy, happiness. Something's going to be revealed to you. Information might sting a little. But it might piss you off, but it'll set you free on that matter. You weren't satisfied with this particular karmic to begin with. After their mask fell off, you seen it slipping. They pretty well told on themselves by the looks of it. And it kind of helped you realize that they weren't in your frequency. All they were doing is manipulating you, siphoning off of your energy, holding you back, making you feel like shit, making you feel worthless, using you. This is the whole selfishness that they had. They're now finding out that it didn't work in their favor. You're too smart for them. Seven of Crystals. You're planting good seeds, collective. You're looking at all the options of the results and what you've been doing and what you've been pouring into. You're recognizing what works, recognizing what doesn't, and you're moving accordingly. As you should. You're moving through to this crossroads. And I think this is where they're running out of time. Because you're moving into a new crossroads, you're moving into a doorway, a new timeline. And they won't even be able to connect to you, let alone contact you or have any type of connection with you. There's nothing there anymore. And they're obsessed. Sitting behind the freaking bench crying because they can't connect to you. They can't siphon off of you anymore. But all they can do is watch. Spirit's saying the Divine's got other plans for them. Yeah, there was a third party bullshit going on with this one. There was no joy here. Right? You cut this out. You find out that I think one of your exes was with this ex or whatever the case may be that you had in the past. Really picking up on a Taurus. They were trying to get in between your relationships. It could be having the Cancer. The Chariot's not out here, but could have had something to do with the Chariot. It could have had something to do with a Karmic. A Nine of Feathers. They're having no other choice, but they're heading for a dark night of the soul. It's the only way they're going to get out of it is to go through it. Yeah, because they've got nothing but chaos. And that's going to be what's being revealed to you. They're not satisfied with the chaos. And they're not satisfied with the fact that this chaos they're not satisfied with is being revealed to you. You're going to get the tea. You're going to get the information. Because there's, I get a feeling it's coming forward, they're going to talk to you about something. In particular, about this karmic. Whoever you might be dealing with in the past. And what they were up to behind the scenes. Somebody's going to come forward with some sort of information regarding that. And they're terrified. Because they know you're tapped in. Just be patient. Okay? Just be patient. Somebody's wondering how they can come forward. We got the Hermit and the Acorns. So be very, very, very patient with what's going on. Because somebody's coming forward. They're just kind of going through. They're contemplating. They are going within. They're finding their inner light. They're wanting that inner light to guide them. So give them some time. Okay? And I get a feeling that this is somebody that you don't even know that's going to come forward to you and tell you this information. They feel you deserve to know what was going on behind the scenes. So there very well could either be a phone call, there could be an email, there could be a message, a DM, something regarding this. Two of Crystals, because you're finding balance. Ten of Shells. You're moving towards wish fulfillment. Things, well-being, a solid foundation. You should be proud, collective. Knight of Shells. Somebody wants to come forward with some sort of compassion, charm, and passion. Maybe you're moving forward with that. You're just being very, very consistent. Ten of Crystals in reverse. So somebody's coming forward quite possibly about somebody's demise. Somebody losing everything. There's a Queen of Acorns here as well. You could very, very well be vibrant and beautiful and radiant. You could be standing in your power, no tensions, nurturing your overall, having a good attitude, standing on business, no longer allowing any type of manipulation. I'm really getting a feeling that because you're stepping into that energy, you're putting a stop to all of this bullshit. The rumors, the drama, the chaos that they're trying to ensue into your life. Welcome in, honey. Yeah, collective, you have a new beginning. You can't stop this new beginning. Okay? Whoever this X is, whoever karmics are, they cannot stop your new beginning. They thought they could, but they can't. And they're snapping out because they have no control over this whatsoever. Have a good night, Ryan. Stay strong, my friend. You're taking a leap in a new direction. The Ace of Swords, or the Ace of, the Ace of Acorns, and the Traveler. So that's the Fool. So, collective, you're tapping into your intuition. You're tapping to a new intention, a new idea. You're tapping into your creative force and your confidence. And you're moving forward with this brand new, beautiful idea. I'm excited. Okay? They cannot get in the way of this anymore. They can't connect to you anymore. Access is denied. And that one's specifically coming from Archangel Michael. Because you've had a lot of injustice happen in your life, and the angels are done watching this happen. The divine is done with all of this collusion and chaos. You never deserved this to begin. And it's because these people are obsessed and oppressed. They can't seem to get over themselves. Things are coming to balance for you. Six of Shells. This is somebody from the past. They're very nostalgic. And they don't like seeing you rise. But that's your problem. Now is it? Jen Jackson, thank you so much. Very, very, very thankful, very grateful for that. They should have been more or less focused on their own life rather than focused on yours, collective. I'll tell you that right now. Aw, thank you, Jen. Hey, Jen, do you realize you have that light within you, too? You've always had that light. That the end of the tunnel is the reflection of your inner light. Let that inner light guide you. You've had it the whole time. Just as the magician is coming to mind. Step into your power. You got this. Welcome in, Diego. Is there anything else that the divine wants to tell my collective? These dumbass karmics are speechless. They don't know what to say. They don't know whether or not to talk about you, or I think they've had their mouth shut. Somebody's basically telling them to shut their mouth because people around them are starting to lose it on them because they just won't shut the fuck up about you. Trying to spread a bunch of rumors and lies, try to downplay you and maybe call you a fraud or whatever else. Now they got nothing to say. And people aren't taking anything that they're saying for any particular validity either. The Seven of Feathers here as well. You've had no other choice but to be strategic. Right? You have to get sneaky about how you go about your life. How you go about life. Courage and commitment. You're stepping into a more stable, committed. You're committing to yourself. You're committing to your glow up. You're committing to your purpose, your destiny. You're committing to your inner magic, is what Spirit's saying. And this is the way it should be. Ten of Feathers reversed, and the Chariot. Yeah, that's what I thought. There's a Cancer coming in. They were dealing with this Taurus. There's a Cancer coming in to try to reconcile with you, but they got the wrong idea. And they should have listened to their intuition, but they didn't. Right? So they want to come in and reconcile with you because they miss you. They should have treated you better to begin with. Maybe they should have spoke up. Maybe they communicated with you instead of hide shit. Maybe they shouldn't have been throwing rocks and hiding their hands, making you have no other choice but to be strategic and very sneaky. Spirit's saying this ship, there's no coming back to that. There's no turning the ship around. There's no going back to the fucking the dock. Once the cruise ship leaves, you're screwed. You have to find your own way home. Sorry, you missed the boat. Acorns. I can't make this shit up. They have to take responsibility and dedication for what they have to take accountability for their own decisions. Yeah, even Linda's envious of your success. They can't handle it. And of crystals in the reverse. They're hanging on every word. Drop that they can get. But all they can do is watch. That's what Spirit's saying. All they can do is watch you rise. They can't play you like a puppet anymore. The King of Acorns in reverse and the Two of Shells. They're losing it because they know something's coming in for you. And they cannot stand the fact that you got new love coming in. They can't stand it. They're losing their shit. The fact that you're finding harmony even in yourself, for that matter. You're nurturing and protecting yourself all at the same time. Alright? You're coming into balance within your masculine and feminine within yourself. The Seven of Shells in reverse. You're focusing on yourself. You're pouring into yourself. The Seven of Crystals. You're planting good seeds. And you're looking beautiful and radiant. Linda is a reader that's online here. Linda likes tarot. She just posted. Ace of Shells. You're pouring into yourself. How can I make this up? I cannot make this up. You got new love coming in, collective. And they're literally losing their shit. Because it's given it the whole idea that, yo, if I can't have you, nobody can. You ended the cycle with these people. The 10 of acorns, 10 of wands, popping right back in. You ended this cycle. They can't handle the fact that you're alchemizing all this pain and suffering that they tried to throw at you, and you're turning it into power. Standing on business. You're sticking up for yourself. You're creating boundaries. As you should. You have every right to, collective. You have every right to. And whatever you got going on is none of their business. All in divine timing. All in divine timing. There very well could be a Sagittarius coming in. You could have maybe ended a cycle with a Sag. But I think the divine with Archangel Michael is actually coming in here to create balance for you. And this is what helped you end that cycle. Because there was a lot of shit going on behind the scenes that you didn't know about. And I think Archangel Michael came in to deal with that. Is there anything else going on, collective? Anything else that they need to know? The 5 of Wands reverse, Shaman in reverse. This Lulu piece of shit. They're fucking much of a coward to go through their shadow work. They've literally got no spiritual power. They've got no divine wisdom. And they went and reconcile as if they do. They don't want to fight with you anymore. They can't tap into you anymore. But somehow they want to get back in G. I don't get it. I'll be right back. Sweet dreams, honey. Or Dorothy. Sweet dreams, my dear. Welcome in, Matt. Hey, just grab your soap. Go out and save some water. Yeah, that's free water. You'll be fine. Don't be so scared. Extreme lightning storms? Okay. That's a little different. But then again, like, whether you're inside or outside, like, I don't know. Where you're staying, is it grounded? It'd be good to, like, take a grounding rod, tie it to the frame of, I think you're in a trailer, right? Because if you get a grounding rod and you drive it as a ground and you tie it into one of the bolts on your trailer, you'll fare out all right. Because if it hits the trailer, it'll go down the grounding rod. You hook it up with some copper wire and away. Oh, okay. But if you're on rubber, you're grounded to begin with. Welcome in, Trudy. So ultimately, Earth sign, my divine ones, one that's vibed with this reading tonight. That matter. We are dealing with karmics. We're in the karmic series of it all, right? This is the karmics. They're so stubborn they don't want to heal, right? They don't want to step into their power. They don't want to have any type of healing. They'd rather sit in their puddle of mud, and complain about it. It's really sad. It's kind of embarrassing. But that's not your problem, is it? It's really not. And they would rather see you lose to make them feel like they're winning, actually focus on themselves and win themselves. That's the audacity of it all. They would rather see you lose to make them feel better about themselves than on themselves to win. Like, make it make sense. And the thing is, they got nobody to blame themselves. That's the thing that baffles me the most. Like, really, the math ain't mathin' with these ones. The rubber grip plates. Are you sure they're not just the tire chucks to keep the trailer from rolling away? Very good, very well said, Trudy. They need another hobby. Try healing. Healing is a very good hobby to start with, that's for sure. Taking time out to pour into yourself, to pour into your empowerment. It's definitely paramount to healing, that's for sure. Oh, eat a Snickers, Max. Or is that a Mars bar? Can you tell I don't watch TV all that much? You medically can't fast anymore? I think that's a bunch of bullshit. Fasting, it brings enlightenment. And the hypoglycemic is an imbalance within your body. It's because of what you're putting into your body. Your body is not balanced out, and that's why. See, the thing is, fasting isn't just about not eating anything or not drinking anything. You still have to put stuff in your body in order to make it work. But you're more intentional as to what you're putting. And a lot of the imbalance is due to your environment. So you change your environment, You bring some peace of mind back to your existing, your reality, and things will change for you. Almost like a miracle. Hey Max, try blessing your water. Take a water bottle and take a piece of paper and you write peaceful quotes, peaceful sayings, peaceful words, and you tape it face in to the water bottle. Or even write a blessing on a piece of paper and tape it face in the water bottle. And as you're doing this, infuse your bottle of water with light and healing energy and watch how your life changes. I don't know if I would moon water though. I would use it to bless things, use it to cleanse, I would use it to anoint, but I don't know if I would drink it. But that's just me. Do what you gotta do. To do what you're being do. That's just me. Usually when I fast, I usually allow my body to tell me what it needs to. So there's days where I won't eat and I'll just drink, and then there's days where I won't drink and then I'll eat. There's days where I won't eat or drink. There's days where I fall back on my smoking. There's days where I smoke like a chimney. It all depends on the situation. Work with your cravings. Work with your what your body is telling you. Get more into alignment with what your body is saying. Your mind, body, and spirit. What is moon water? Moon water is water that has been fused by the light of the moon. Yeah, sometimes it's 1 to 3 days. Some days it's 3 to 5. Yeah. Days it's more than that. 14, 15. Sometimes it's a month. There's 40-day fasts. There's 20-day fasts. It's all on what your body's alignment with the energies around you. But yeah, it's definitely something that you have to attune with your body. It brings you to a new awareness when you tap into your feelings and your cravings and what's going on. Like some people, they cut out sugar. Some people cut out junk food. Some people, they cut out meat. Some people, they cut out substances, right? It all depends on what it is that you're buying you. Confirmation. But on that note, my collective, I love you all. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you would like a reading, they are open. So feel free, if you are a member, tap into my DMs. If you would like to order a reading, head over to Hipsy, if you're not a member, and order one up. Please be good to yourself, because that's the first stage of stepping into your higher timeline. We are all waiting for you to rise. So be vigilant, be courageous in your healing. And if you need to unpack something, I'm always here. You can hit me up anytime. Alright? You guys know where to find me. Aiden Wolfshaw on Facebook, Instagram, or here on YouTube. Or within Hipsy. So if you need to unpack, if you need a counseling session, you're going through something, that's what I'm here for. Are you feeling stuck? You need a little bit of help getting yourself in a new perspective? Come hang out with me. Throw a message in the DMs. You're very welcome, Kitty. If you get good at it, please at least be good to yourself, so that way you can be good to others. And stay tuned tomorrow night, where we're going to be looking into the karmic fire signs. It should be a fiery evening. Thank you all for joining me. If you'd like to throw a super chat, super sticker, super thanks, or throw me a tip over at Hipsy, not really wanting to do that on YouTube. My PayPal is open for donations only. It's all greatly appreciated. Help me eat, you help me pay my bills, you help me, survive chaos. It's all greatly appreciated. And it helps me to be able to come back and continue providing you some messages. So thank you so much. I'm very grateful and honored to be here. I'm grateful for my tribe. I love you all. And I'll catch you in the next video. Have yourself a good evening.